It's the same thing with houses. A lot of people feel like they can't do it or it's out of their reach. But it only takes, like you were saying earlier, it only takes some time to research. And if you don't have all the money yourself, that's perfectly fine. Get you some like-minded people, y'all put y'all money together. You form an LLC together or whatever, a corporation is, whatever you want to do, form that together. And y'all pool y'all money together and then y'all get a unit. You might can't get a 10-unit or 20.
Yes, and he did, well, I don't know, you still do commercials? Because I know you big time, baby.
Hey, man, I produce content.
It's okay.
It's commercials, documentaries. I primarily specialize in documentaries.
Okay, but it's okay, brother, because let me tell you something. You can't be everything to everybody.
You're right.
Because you're moving, I'm talking about major movie level now. And not that you don't want to help people, but if you're doing great things, it's hard to back down and come to that.
So, math was my favorite subject. So I'm going to say yes. However, I did my undergrad in journalism. So I actually, was a writer at some point. Not in the books, but, writing for newspapers. And I thought I'd be the next Oprah, but that didn't work out. And realized that journalism wasn't going to give
This business owner. And this is extremely important when we want to change the dynamics of the Black community.
You got your flushes, your stomach feeling all good now. How you doing?
You live.
You went live?
You are live.
I didn't hear the countdown from 30.
That was the first thing.
The countdown from 30, 10, 9, 8, 7. All right, people, happy Tuesday. All right, we're going to get into a few things tonight, man. We're going to get into a few things. So hopefully y'all ready. We're going to talk about these multiple streams and a lot of stuff I like to jump on and really talk about stuff that I've seen during the week and things that I've come in encounter with different people. But y'all feel free to ask any questions related to taxes, business, any of those things. We're going to talk multiple streams. We're going to talk common mistakes of entrepreneurs and get into a little tax law. But then I'm going to also talk to y'all about how to get that deed, man. How to get that deed, using that deed to basically elevate. Ladies, how to use the deed to elevate, man, and get to that next level and build sustainable success by understanding how to leverage that deed. So again, we got a lot to talk about as always. So make sure y'all got y'all pen, pads, everything in place because y'all going to take some notes on this. And again, if y'all not answering no questions, I'm assuming y'all know everything already. So y'all not gonna be in bad shape anyway with or without me because you got all the answers. Look, it's been a lot of talk this week. It's been a lot of talk this week, and I said since y'all been talking shit all week about Tyler Perry. Now, I may not be talking the same kind of shit, though. Our shit is SHYT. So it's success and happiness via striving. And what that is, man, when you're successful, when you're happy, it creates thriving. And thriving is the most important thing because we done got so comfortable with surviving, we think that's the new norm. And that's why we want to focus on solutions and thriving. That's the two things, is that, solutions is the key to the ultimate goal. But once you understand thriving, then you start progressing to a point where you couldn't even imagine. Because again, we're so used to surviving, but surviving usually keeps you stationary. You know, you got your head above water, but you're not moving, you're not progressing. And that's really what we want to get away from. So when we start talking about success, you have to change your mindset to what you actually want to be, want to do. And you got to basically work, put in work, hours, times, everything, you know, doing that. All right. So make sure that y'all share, you know, with somebody, tag somebody on this, because it's not too many people out there that don't need to hear about the mistakes of entrepreneurs. It's not too many people out there that don't need to know about the steps of, and we kind of got it mixed up. So that's why I want to get the word straight on this, understanding multiple streams of income. You know, a lot of times we don't get it. What's up, homie? What's up, brother E? Yeah, a lot of times we don't get it. So that's why we all over the place when we talk about multiple streams. So the goal is not to have 8 different businesses. The goal is to take one stream and learn how to maximize that one stream. It's almost like having a tree and having different branches. You know, because that's going to be the thing to allow you to elevate. Because now if I take the foundation of what I'm doing and I create other branches, I don't have to plant another tree. So I got a bunch of different arms and layers without planting another different tree. Because see, a tree takes forever to manifest. And if I'm around here trying to plant different trees and I got all these different things going on, it's going to be hard. Because see, I got to maintain that one. I got to water it. I got to fertilize it. I got to do all these different things to make sure that that tree is getting the nourishment that it needs to grow. It's much easier to take the one thing and create the different branches. So we're going to kind of talk about that and some of the things that you need to do that rich and successful people do without even thinking about it. It's part of their DNA now. Hey, Lauren. Yeah, so it's basically, our special guest says 13 minutes away. So he must have went the back way around the corner to the side and came around the left side. All right, so again, and you gotta minimize the process, because see, our time is limited. Our time is limited in what we can do. So we got to learn to maximize our time. And these are the type of things that you need to know to maximize your time and not create all these different businesses. All right. Shout out and much love. And don't think I forgot about all y'all people who signed up for the business evaluation. You know, I did touch bases with a few people. We got some more stuff coming your way, so that way you can maximize your business. But people, you won't get an opportunity. It's going to be hard fetched for you to find and get an opportunity to be able to get your business evaluated for only $50. You know, and only $50. That's crazy. What? It's going to be hard pressed for you to find somebody that's in the position that I'm in to allow you. And the thing is, and I'm not trying to sell you a whole bunch of the stuff, and you see it with some of the other individuals that's out there. They'll tell you they have a program for $29.95, sign up, or they got $39, sign up. And what they do is they get you to sign up for the minimum, but then they sell you the $2,500 package, or they want to sell you that, so they're giving you bare minimum. And realistically, we ain't gonna play that game. You know, so if I tell you $50, then I'm gonna go ahead and evaluate it for that. I ain't trying to upsell you on nothing behind the scenes, you know, but we do have other things that you're gonna probably need. But that's not the purpose of doing it. The purpose of really doing this is getting you guys in position. Getting you guys in position. And I figured that was something quick that I would do, just because I already know that we're not investing in ourselves. You know, we're not investing in ourselves. So Thing is, if you can't invest $50 to see why you're not where you are and see what's going on in the dynamics of your business, then you're in bad shape. You're in bad shape. Because you gotta invest, man. You gotta invest. It's a part of business. It's business 101. So we gotta understand, you gotta make those type of sacrifices. And the thing about it is, I know that I want to take my podcast to another level. I know I want to take that to another level. And what I did was I got on a 3-hour call the other night with 2 of the top podcast people in the country. And if y'all know David Shan, David Shan is the podcast king. I got on a call with him and CJ and just kind of just listening to them, what they're talking about, how they got to where they got to, see what they had to offer. And at the end, they came with a pricing that they will actually do a 6-week workshop for podcasting. And I could have easily reached out to CJ, which is one of my clients. And if you know CJ is Eric Thomas, ET's business partner, and they have their own podcast. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna make an investment in myself, because the one thing I do know is when you make an investment in yourself, people appreciate that. And I don't care what the price is. If somebody see that you spent your money, 90% of the time, they're gonna give you more than what you paid for. They're gonna give you more than what you paid for. So I was like, I gotta make this commitment, because if I want to start taking things to another level, if I want to start moving in another direction with the podcast, I got to get around the people who are doing the things that I need to be doing, who know the things that I need to know. That's the kind of mindset you have to have. And there's not enough of y'all investing. And like David said, he relied on himself for a long time. Like I could do this, I could do that. But until he invested in CJ's program, he was spinning his wheels. And that's where most of y'all are. You're spinning your wheels thinking you can do this, and you're listening to other people saying, oh, well, you could do that yourself, and you could do it. But if that ain't your lane, your goal is to be great. Your goal is to be great. And you around here trying to do all these things yourself. The one thing that extremely successful business people understand is they understand what they're not good at. They understand they can't be everywhere for everybody, and they can't do everything. So sometimes you have to make that sacrifice and let people who are experts do what they do. Pay the price for them to teach you, at least, so you won't be spinning your wheels, because the first thing we always say is, time is money. Time is money, man. You got to value your time. But if you're taking all these extra hours researching, starting over, going back and forth, hearing from 4 different people, 5 different people, then you're going to have a problem. It's going to be hard for you to be successful when you listen to all these different people that don't know what they're doing. And that's part of the biggest problem, is that we're listening to people that never achieved what we're trying to achieve. And Will said something other day. I wanted to print it out though, man. Shout out to Will Roundtree. And Will was just talking about how right now y'all following all these credit people who have bad credit. Y'all following all these people who teaching y'all how to get into the car business that don't have a car. And a lot of that is going around. And so I tell people, it's okay to ask people for receipts. The one thing is people always saying receipts. If somebody's teaching you how to have a 750, 800 credit score, it's okay to ask them to see their credit stuff. It's okay. When they're telling you to have 200,000 in the bank, ask them. Ask them. Because one thing about people, we are stunners. And most of the time, if we have the things that we talk about and you ask to show you up, we'll show you. The only people that usually get offended is the people basically don't do and don't have what they're telling you to do. And it's okay to challenge people. Because believe me, a lot of them have bad credit. That's teaching you. A lot of them that's in real estate teaching you how to buy all these properties and how to do all these things. Ask them how many properties they have. Can you check out those properties? What I found is a lot of people out there selling properties don't have properties. Or teaching you how to buy properties don't have properties. Shout out to my man Ramon, man. You know, Ramon got a bunch of projects going on. So yeah, definitely make sure that y'all stay connected. But that's very important, man. Very important. All right. Before we get into a few things on the multiple streams of income, you know, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about basically, ladies, how to get that D and use that D to progress and be successful. Because it's proven. It's proven. If you use the D's that I'm talking about the right way, then yeah, you're gonna see some changes. You're definitely gonna see some changes. So, you know, definitely make sure that y'all stay connected because I want to put people in some great, happy positions by using that D. So let's get to the D, but not right now. All right. I want to talk about this. I'm gonna go into this a little bit because if you hadn't seen it, if you hadn't heard about it, Tyler Perry's new movie. What I need y'all to do is I need y'all to talk about my business and the things that I do the same way y'all promote these movies and talk about them the same way y'all did for that Popeye's chicken sandwich. I want that same pub, man. So right now, the Tyler Perry movie is trending big time. And you're getting a lot of mixed reviews. If you never watched it, you're getting a lot of mixed reviews. I'm seeing some people saying, oh my God, it was garbage. Typical Tyler Perry. It was predictable. Other people saying, I really enjoyed it. You know, like I told you, it wasn't predictable to me. Yeah, it wasn't predictable. You know, I kind of sensed some things, but it still had a little twist to it. And the thing about it is that I don't even care. I'm gonna celebrate the dude, man. I'm gonna celebrate and watch his movie. I'm a movie head anyway, but I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna get my own opinion because we always talk about how much of a leader we are, and we don't let. Why are you letting people influence if you're gonna watch it or not? If you're a leader, you know, so watch it for yourself. You know, watch it for yourself. And as many problems as people have with Tyler Perry, he still does a lot of great things. You know, so I'm a support, you know, based on the brother putting more money in his pocket. I'm not here to count his money and say, I'm not watching, you got enough money already. Somebody told me it's this. Because if you're listening to other people, then I probably don't want to work with you. I don't need you on my team if you're taking other people's opinion and not basically watching and forming your own opinion. Why we don't find the genius in what Tyler Perry has done? The one thing Tyler Perry has done, he created something that made us talk and watch. That's marketing. That's marketing 101. He has basically created something, and that's what a lot of times the whole premise of doing a lot of this is that we know you're gonna watch. We know you're gonna watch. Because first of all, you had Kelly in there, Kelly Rowland. So that's already gonna put y'all in a position where you're gonna watch. And so he understood the assignment. And he probably don't care if a lot of y'all are not liking the movie or you got your opinions and whatever it is. He didn't become a billionaire by worrying about your opinion. So my thing is that watch it for yourself, form your opinion, because if you're telling me what everybody else is saying, then you're a follower to me. You're a follower. If you don't watch it for yourself, and I feel like that with restaurants as well. When people tell me about restaurants, you know, because again, our taste buds might be totally different. And you're saying that this is not good. This restaurant is that. This restaurant is something else. And that's too much for me. I'm gonna try it myself and I'll form my own opinion. If I don't like it for whatever reason, I won't go back. But I'm not gonna listen to what other people are telling me. And so we got to get away from that, man. So I thought it was a good movie. I think he basically fulfilled the assignment. The one thing that I'm not going to do is listen to other people. And that's really what I wanted to just kind of mention, like form your own opinion. Don't let nobody deter you from watching it because you might like it for whatever reason. And I'm pronouncing that Mia Copa? A Cooper?
I have no idea.
Oh, what kind of people? You don't have Netflix?
Yes, I do.
Oh, well, you can come in here and log on, and you can watch it in here though. So, people, if y'all don't have Netflix, if y'all don't,
Mia Cooper,
Mia
and it was
Cooper.
good.
Yeah. So if y'all don't have Netflix or any of that, then you can come to the RB Solution Center, man. The only all-inclusive Black-owned co-work space in the country, though. So, definitely come on down here. You can watch it. We have some Netflix going on. We have a little bit of everything. We don't have no porn sites. All that's blocked. So don't be trying to come down here and get your freak on. That ain't this kind of place. I'm just saying. But yeah, form your own opinion, though. What's up, Brother Russell? All right. So talking about marketing, I was watching EYL the other day, and I forgot to take the young lady name now, but she was a marketing expert. She's done marketing for major companies, and that's the two things that we don't do enough of. We talking about, and she was just talking about different marketing aspects, different marketing techniques, and if you're a business owner, you have to market your business. And don't tell me you're not good at sales or whatever. You are good at sales because you've been on the internet and telling everybody about Mia Cooper. So you selling somebody else's movie. So you convincing people why they should watch it or they shouldn't. That's a form of selling. Transition that to your own business and watch the results. Put the same amount of energy into selling your business the way you're promoting stuff that you see on Instagram and all these other things and Netflix and Prime and Tubi. If you promote the same way, thank you, Ms. Keisha. If you promote your business, man, you'll see your business go through the roof. Now, one of the things she talked about, which I'm a firm believer of, and this is what I need y'all to do because we're still early in 2024. She said, still today, the most effective form of marketing is in person. So you can post as much as you want. You can do with all these different things. You can buy ads, but you got to get in front of people. You got to get in front of people. The easiest way to sell your business is having people basically believe in you. You got to sell you. So one of the things that I've been extremely good at is selling me. This is why you see me network all the time. This is why I'm out. Because I believe if I get in front of people and I let people see who I am and I believe in my character, then I think people are going to buy my service. They're going to buy into my value based on my personality, based on everything that I bring to the table that's positive. Now, if you're this dynamic person that you say you are, why wouldn't you want to put that in front of people? So keep in mind, the most effective way still today of marketing is getting in front of people. It's getting in front of them personally. Letting them see who you are. Now, again, if you normally have, and I mentioned this to y'all before, if you have a little stank breath, then remember, one of our sponsors, Dr. Joy Fremont, has her own mouthwash. And I forgot my bottle, but I'll make sure that y'all follow Dr. Joy Fremont Joy makes her own mouthwash, man. She's been my dentist for years, and now she has her own mouthwash. So if you're not getting in front of people because of that reason, make sure that y'all get this mouthwash, man. Come on, we got that at the RB Solution Center in our store. Make sure y'all come purchase a bottle, and it'll change your life. It'll change your life. All right. And y'all always know one of the reasons why I get on here is because I really, really, man, want to change people's lives. You know, I really want to change people's lives. And it was something I said, it was a post earlier somebody made, and they said, what's the one thing you want to do before leaving Earth? Something like that. You're scared of. What's the one thing that you're scared of? And what I said was, the one thing that I'm scared of is not touching enough people's lives before I leave this earth. My goal right now, man, is to put us in a better position as Black folks. And so one of my fears is not touching enough people and changing enough people's lives before I leave this earth. And this is why I fight so hard, because I want to impact as many people as possible. And this is why I'm extremely passionate when I talk about this. And because again, man, we got to do something different to get something better, because I'm watching EYL again, and I'm watching another young lady work for TIA Craft. And so believe me, I apologize for not getting their names or writing their names down. But the one young lady, and if you're not familiar with TIAA, they are a retirement company. A lot of y'all have y'all retirement plans with them through your jobs, but she just talked about retirement. She talked about, you know, just where we are as a people, being in corporate America as business owners. And she said that 40% of all Americans, and y'all heard me talk about this all the time, 40% of all Americans do not have a secure retirement. People. She said 40% of all Americans. She says even worse for African Americans. It's even worse. So that means even if we're talking about 50% of Black folks don't have enough to secure their retirement. That's scary, people. Because you know what that means? That means half of the Black people in this world will be working until they die. And if you don't work until you die, you won't live the lifestyle that you desire. And that's even worse. You know why? Because we're now living with regrets. We're living with regrets, because if we're living a lifestyle that we can't retire and we're 70 years old still working, we got a lot of regrets. We're a bitter 70-year-old. You know, and that's extremely important, man, to live your golden years on your terms. This is why I'm so passionate about this. And again, she said that it's even worse for African Americans. And I was trying to figure out when she said women are 30% less. So I don't know if it's less than the 40% that she was saying for all Americans, but either way, man, that's a lot of people. And the reason why I know it's factual, because I sit down with thousands of people a year. I talk to so many people about their finances. And it might be from a tax perspective. It may be from a savings perspective. But I do know that we're getting worse and worse each year. And I know this because when I went to the IRS conference, I went to the conference for the IRS, and one of the things that they're making a big push to do is change the way they're taxing and penalizing the 401k. And the reason why they're doing this and they're looking to change it, because they're saying so many people are pulling money from their 401k right now. at pre-retirement age. And they're saying they're starting to have to issue so many retirement statements to where it's going to affect the economy. It's going to affect the world. Reason being, if I'm pulling my retirement out now in my 40s, I will not have no retirement at 65. If I'm scheduled to live to 85, do the math. Do the math. If I'm pulling out at 45, I don't have enough money to last me to 65, but I'm going to live to 85. So from 65 to 85, I'm still working because I don't have no retirement coming in to where I can stop working because I didn't exhausted all of my 401k. People, it's that serious. It's that serious. We got to change this, man. We got to change this. This is not good. This is not good at all. And the one thing I'm not going to apologize for is having an easy life. I'm not going to apologize for having an easy life. Not when I'm giving you the game. Not when I'm going to give you the game. And I sent to my group, I sent the meme out. This was so funny. I thought you found that hilarious. The one where the guy was talking about, the dude was mad at his friend because his friend life was easy. Right. Because his parents made great decisions and he didn't have to struggle throughout life. And his friend tried to down him because he didn't have to struggle. So he was like, so you telling me the only way you can make it in life, and life is really appreciated if you struggle and go through things. Bruh, that's the stupidest shit ever. That's the stupid. Let me tell you something. If I ever, slap me back to reality, if I ever said my daughter got to get it out the mud, when I done been through the mud, the quicksand, the poop, everything else. Why? Why? Not that, and I told her this, not that I'm giving her a hand out, but I'm giving her a hand up. And if you don't feel that way about your child, you're a bad parent. I'm judging. You say what you want. But if you feel like your kid need to get it out the mud when you're in a position to throw some damn plastic over the puddles, you're a bad parent. This is why we basically still low on the totem pole. Because every other culture is making sure their children don't have to get it out the mud. So you know what's happening? When every other culture has created a concrete pavement and their kids are walking on a concrete pavement, our kids are fighting to get out the mud. They got out the mud 5 years later when everybody else is on this concrete pavement. They so far ahead, we'll never catch them. And this is continuously happening. So again, this is so crazy. That video was so crazy because dude was hard up mad at his friend because his friend didn't have to struggle in life because his parents made good decisions and he got the things he wanted. And if you believe that everybody needs to struggle in order to be successful, you're on some bullshit. You're on some bullshit. And I always say it, I'm blessed to be born with a silver spoon. And that comes in different ways. Everybody can look at that in all different ways. And I say that in the sense of my parents ain't have no money. No money. But you know what they had? They had belief in me. They never allowed me to know that I couldn't win. Right, that was a hell of a silver spoon right there. They never allowed me to know that I couldn't win. It was nothing that my parents ever told me or ever did to make me think I couldn't be great. And you don't need money all that sometime. So even if you're not in a position financially, because when I was I might have been out of my 20s, maybe early 30s, when I found out how much my parents made, that blew me away. When I made in 1 month more than they had both made combined in a year, that blew me away. And so this is why I always thank my mom basically for never putting barriers around me. So this is why I say I was born with a silver spoon, because I had the ability to have everything. I had the ability to have everything. And that's all you need sometimes, is to have the ability to have everything. See, people, when they say people with silver spoons, they could get everything. I couldn't get everything, but I had the ability to achieve everything. And this is how we got to go into it, man. So when I hear these numbers and I hear, I see the video and it talks about, down shaming, and somebody else put a post out too and say, why do black people get mad at black people for doing well and making money? Man, we got to stop shaming people for being in a good position. When people tell me, well, you don't even know, you probably don't even know how to change your own oil. Nope, not no more. Because I go to 5-minute oil change and I let them change it. I ain't about to go into no Mercedes and be trying to change no oil. Nope. And if you got money, only people that don't have no money say stuff like that. Because you basically, if you've got money and you're in a better position, you probably ain't changing your own oil either. So yes, and black folks will be, oh, you could do that yourself and you don't know how to do that. Nope, because that takes too much time. And I understand the value of time now. So nope, I'm not doing that. And so we will shame people, or you don't have to worry about, trying to pay it in 2 payments. Like black folk, nope, you should be working on trying not to be able to have to pay it in 2 payments. Nope, I don't know what the little way is anymore. And that's not shaming nobody, but that's telling you that we don't need to shame people for being in great position. Your answer should be, what did you do to get there? How can you help me get there? That's the most important questions. That's the most important questions. Because again, when we talk about securing our retirement, man, that's important. We're going to be working till we 80. People, I don't want to work now. I don't want to get up early now. I wake up mad every morning because now I'm getting up super early. I mean, 7:30, like super early. And I'm trying to get an extra workout in. I'm trying to get to the office because it's tax time and all those things earlier. And I'm up super early now, 7:30. Like, this is crazy. I'm mad. Like, this is some bullshit, man. I know this ain't in the Bible, getting up at 7:30. I know it ain't. That is early, 7:30. That ain't in the Bible. That can't be in the Bible nowhere that somebody should wake up that early. Like, yeah. So I'm like, man, this is crazy. Maybe I need to start going to Sunday school or something. But people, we got to do something different, man. And as I listen to the young lady talk, about the retirement and where we are and those things, it bothers me. It bothers me because I know it's so many people in that position. And the thing about it is, it's achievable. That's the thing. People, everything that I've achieved, everything that I do is doable. anything you say that you going through, been through, went through, I probably didn't went through it and did it. You know, so again, it's achievable. And so that's the frustration that I usually have, is because we really have no excuses to be great. And we have no excuses. Most of the barriers that we create are usually barriers that we put on ourselves. It's sacrifices, it's commitments, all of those things. So if you don't want to make your life easy, make your child's life easier. And I've been saying this for years. If y'all been following me over the last 4 or 5 years throughout the pandemic, when I give y'all all these challenges to get your money up, get everything up, the one thing that I've always said, if you say, well, our parents didn't teach us about credit and finances and taxes and all these things, and if your child say that same thing about you, you're a bad parent. You're bad, because it's no reason that your child, because you should fight hard enough to say, I didn't get taught that, but I'm not going to let my child not get taught it. When it's too many people that's out here, when I offer to give you this information, this knowledge and assistance, it's no reason. When I got a whole business evaluation that I'm doing for the low, I still be like, why? For $50 to evaluate your business, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's no reason why we shouldn't be getting in position. If you ain't gonna fight for you, fight for your child. And maybe we can get rid of this whole, you know, most people don't have any type of retirement secured. At 50 years old, and I'm not shaming you, I'm not talking about you, I'm just saying at some point we got to change the dynamics. If you're not sure what to do, how to do it, when to do it, again, you on social media all day promoting a bunch of bullshit, watching a bunch of stuff on TV. Why haven't you reached out? Why haven't you said, Brian, I see you posting your credit score. I see you posting your finances. I see you posting your freedom. How can I get there? What do I need to do? This is what I wanted to do. You have no excuse. No excuse to ask questions, get started. Yes, it's a process, but it ain't gonna change if you never start the process. All right, does that make sense, y'all? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
All right, y'all, so we got a few of our folks in the audience, man, and we here live at the RB Solution Center.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
You know, your new podcast headquarters. If you're looking to get into podcasting, we got production team for you. We got the space for you. We got whatever you need at the only Black all-inclusive co-work space in the country. Come on, man. You want to be a part of that. So I was listening to Killer Mike. Y'all listen to Killer Mike CD?
Oh, yeah.
The last one. I finally got a chance to listen to the whole CD. Bruh. I see why the dude won Grammys.
Mm-hmm.
That CD there, but from top to bottom. And it has whatever you say you're looking for. If you're looking for flow, if you're looking for collabos, if you're looking for lyrics, if you're looking for consciousness, knowledge, whatever. If you're looking for gangster, that gives you everything. What you call it? Since they don't have CDs no more, so what do you say now? Did you listen to Killer Mike album?
Streaming.
Streaming.
Damn, that's so youngish. Did you listen to Killer Mike streaming? No, you can't say streaming.
You can say his album.
You gotta say album though. Yeah, you can't say streaming. You listen to Killer Mike stream? Yeah, that just don't go like that. You still gotta say album, even though they don't have albums. So yeah. And you can't say CD no more.
No, you definitely can't say CD.
Yeah. But shit, CDs after albums.
But album is still what they call it when they are listed with several different songs and things. It's still called an album.
Okay. But yeah, but man, that Killer Mike's, oh bro, like that shit is crazy. No, homie, I understand, but that's too long. Did you stream that new Killer Mike album? Yeah, so but yeah, that might be too long. But Project. Oh, that new Killer Mike project is serious. Yeah, all right, I can rock with that. I can rock with Project. Yeah, I can rock with that. But man, he says so much stuff, and usually I'll stop and I'll analyze, and I'm gonna do this though. I'm gonna break down the whole CD though. I call it back to CD. Oh, I'm old school. I'm programmed. I got to get reprogrammed, you know. But man, like I did this with Jay-Z's 444 project, bro. It was so much stuff on that one, man, that we missed that went over our head. And I don't watch movies. I don't listen to music for only entertainment. I listen to learn, and I watch to learn and see if I can catch nuggets from a lot of different stuff. And that's what I did with Jay-Z 444. Man, he really gave a lot of life lessons in that. And so with this Killer Mike, I did pull a couple of things out, but I do really want to go back and analyze it again. But he said something, and I'm you know, and I always call my men out. He said basically, a lot of you dudes are laid up. That's why you laid off. You know, and that kind of resonated because I'm always on the fellas about this. Like, bruh, like when y'all talking about y'all chilling, like, what's up, man? What you chilling? Yeah, I'm chilling. I'm you know, I'm doing this, playing the game, and y'all laid up, bruh. And he ain't talking about laid off in the terms of not having a job. Even y'all with businesses, you ain't grinding. You ain't eating. So you got a business, but you ain't really eating. So you laid off in a sense. And bro, that was so impactful, man, that a lot of y'all, you know, he said a lot of y'all dudes are laid up. That's why you laid off. You're laying around, laid up in that case sometime, but you basically sitting on the couches. You're not doing anything. And bro, like we gotta basically have accountability as men. And the one thing about it is that, you know, I talk to cats now who say, well, man, you know, just with my background, my record and all that. Bro, let me tell you something. Your background, your record, your incarceration, all that don't stop you from getting an LLC. It might stop you from getting a job, but it ain't going to stop you from getting an LLC to start your own business. If you that gangster as you say you are, why you waiting and depending on somebody to give you that anyway? Why you being laid up all day? Because you can't find a job. Create a job if you're as bad as you say you are. One of the biggest motivations that I had was, bro, Toys R Us didn't want to hire me around Christmas time. Bro, like, bro, that's, look, when I went and applied at Toys R Us around Christmas time, I thought they hired everybody around Christmas time. But they wouldn't give me a job. But that was a kick in the butt for me. That was like, you know what, bro? And that was only because the halfway house told me I had to have a job, and I figured I would basically get a job from them. You know, around Christmas, that's like UPS. Everybody go to work for UPS around Christmas. At Amazon, you're gonna get a job around that time. They ain't even ask no questions. But bro, we gotta understand. We gotta be more committed as Black men, though. You know, I'm talking to the people who say they want this, because the one thing that I'm realizing more and more is that most people are not ready for the commitment of ownership and entrepreneurship. They're not ready for it. Most people are not ready to be committed, because see, what happens is now, what if my business take off and start doing well? If it starts taking off and doing well, you know what I got to do now? I got to be accountable for stuff. I can't just quit now and take a week off if I decide to, because now I got something that I'm responsible for. And what I'm finding is that people don't want that commitment. They don't want that responsibility. So what they rather do is stay stagnant. And I'm talking about people who tell me this is what they want. I ain't talking to people who say, you know what? I don't want shit. I don't want to do shit. I don't want to be shit. If that's you, I'm good. If that's you, I'm good. Because again, I can't hold you accountable when you told me all these things. I can't hold you accountable. I can't expect you to go out and do this. I can't want you to want what I want. But if you tell me this is what you're trying to do and what you're trying to be, give me your reasons why you're not doing it. Because all of those things to me now are usually excuses. If you say, well, I don't know how to start, I don't know who to talk to. Don't you know how many people I have tell me they don't know who to talk to talking to me? And I'll be like, damn, I thought I was the man, but maybe not. You know, and I'm like, that is crazy. Like, all right, I'll lead you to somebody else then. But we gotta basically do better, man. If you want it, you gotta be committed to ownership. It comes at a price. It comes at a price. But the reward, oh, it's a beautiful thing, man. Great freedom is a beautiful thing. Because see, this is everything that we said we want. We want freedom. If nothing else, we're fighting for freedom. And that's the freedom of being able to not worry about money, not worry about time, not worry about all of those things. But you got to commit to something first in order to get to that. So when you tell me you want your own business, but you're not committed to ownership, it'll never work. It'll never work. You got to understand, man. You got to understand. All right, so don't worry, people. I'm getting to that, and women, I'm getting to how that D, getting the right D can elevate you to next levels, get your business going, and create a success that you would never imagine if you get the right D in your life. So we're going to get into it. Yeah, we're going to get into it. And we also going to get into those streams of income because I have this conversation a lot too. So we're going to talk about that. But before we get into that, what I want y'all guys to really work on, this is what I want y'all to work on, man. April is Financial Literacy Month. April is Financial Literacy Month. And even though we want to start now, I would challenge you to start in March. And I'm usually a start the next day type person. I usually don't tell people. But again, we have, because this is the one of them leap year things.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So we have 29 days in Black History. All right, so that we need to have a party on the 29th. They gave us an extra day, people. They cheated us 2 days, but they gave us an extra one. They think they're doing something. So again,
what days they cheated us?
31. Like we supposed to have 31 days. Why Black History can't be 31 days? So they give us an extra day and tell me y'all be good with that. Like when you took 2 from us, you know, and then try to give us another one. This is what I want you to do, starting in March. Make a conscious effort, a conscious effort to start working on your credit. To start working on your credit. You know, we've partnered up now with one of the top credit people in the country, man. If y'all know Dana, y'all know SH.Y.T, which is Dana's daughter. Dana basically is the credit guru, and she passed the skill down to her daughter. And so because Dana is multi-millionaire certified, you know, she can't mess with us little people. So she gave us the next best thing, which was SH.Y.T. And now I say that jokingly though, but SH.Y.T basically just as good as Dana. And what I love about SH.Y.T, SH.Y.T actually cares. SH.Y.T actually wants you to win in this credit space. You know, and so we're partnering with SH.Y.T, man, because we want you to have somebody reputable, knowledgeable, that you can reach out to, because a lot of times, again, we always say, well, I don't know who to talk to. Them credit people be on some bull and they be doing this and, you know, they shady. And no, because if y'all know me, and if I'm going to trust my situation, you know, because I still basically refer Will. So we got 2 great options. You know, and again, I don't show you my credit scores to brag. I show you that to say, man, look, this is a cat that basically had like zero credit. Like when I go somewhere, I was scared I was gonna get arrested if I show my credit score. You know, to then being into the 800s now. And the reason why this is so important is because, again, we've never focused on it. We've never focused on really having A1 credit as a whole community. And it builds so much leverage. It builds so much leverage. Just think when you can start playing with other people's money. You can start getting other people's money and save your own money. And for the other ones, and for the people who don't have no money to save, you still can get other people money. Because if you got A1 credit, somebody's going to give you their money. And now I got money to go out and start a business, get help, buy the equipment, do the things I need to do to be successful. So this is leverage, people. You have money now to pay your tax man when you have that. That's what I like. It's a beautiful thing. So I challenge y'all, man, if you don't have a 750 credit score, I challenge you to start working on your credit in March. And you say, Brian, I don't know where to start, then I'll basically lead you in the right direction. Because this is important. This is important. And we get mad at rich and successful people for understanding how to play the game. That's the craziest shit in the world. Why would you get mad at somebody that understands how to play the game? Why wouldn't you learn how to play the game? Because the one thing I always tell you, if you're going to get mad at all of these people, get mad at me. Get mad at Jay-Z. Get mad at Oprah. They all play the game, the credit game, the tax game. They don't use their own money. Bro, that matters. Positioning matters. Hey, CT. Yeah, that's important. I feel naked though, man. Y'all know I'm going to normally represent my brand somewhere. And I started to put my stall cap on, but I did a Zoom, I did a class for somebody, an organization today, and I had my stall cap on. I was hotter than the mud. You know, I'm trying to represent with that. I had my jacket on, around here representing and burning up. But yeah, I didn't have my my shirt, and I had this one in the office because I didn't make it home, but because now I'm getting stripper boy fine. Yeah, this is way too big. Look how big, you know. And so I'm getting stripper boy fine. So, you know, when you get stripper boy fine, you can't be in these big shirts because then like your curves and your muscles and stuff don't show. So I need tight shirts now. And we ain't had no tight shirts. Oh, you gonna know you gonna know when I arrive, because I was going through my bag. I got in the pool the other day and I went through my swim bag and I kept saying, I know I bought some Speedos, and I didn't know where I put them. And I went in my swim bag and there they were.
There you go.
Goals, baby, goals. Goals. Everybody need that incentive wardrobe. You gotta have that incentive wardrobe. You know, you gotta buy a shirt that's too small to say, well, you know what? I'm gonna get in shape to be able to fit this shirt. My thing is Speedos. Like when I go to Europe and I be seeing all them little men with I'm be like, that's gonna be me one day. That's gonna be me. Yeah, so goals, baby. You gotta have goals. All right. So again, man, make sure that y'all take me up on this challenge. You know, let's start working on our credit. Let's start working on savings accounts. Let's get this credit up. Man, we get this credit up. There's so many things you can do. People look at you differently, talk to you differently. When your credit score is good and you got money in the saving, the people at the bank act different with you. They act different with you. You know, they be doing stuff. I ain't even put nobody on the spot. But I was like, they be doing stuff over the phone. When you got money in the bank, you be calling the bank. They be saying, this sound like Mr. Joubert. You know, and so again, you know, man, like, you know, let's get to that level. Let's play the game that everybody else is playing. All right. So again, people, don't go away, because we're about to get into these 8 streams of income. Well, I ain't gonna say 8 streams, but multiple streams, and then we're gonna get into that D. we're gonna get into that D. Why you basically, ladies, y'all need to get that D, and this is and that's gonna bring you to a different level of success, man. If you get the right D in your life, it's gonna bring you to another level of success. And I'm gonna talk about that, you know, and not basically from a financial standpoint, not just from a relationship and sex therapist, but from a financial standpoint. And so we're going to get into the multiple streams, because the other thing I want you to do while you're working on your credit, I want you to start working on multiple streams. You know, I want you to start working on multiple streams. And I don't say this because I'm trying to shame anybody when I talk about the multiple streams. But again, when you basically have a situation where you have about 4 or 5 different businesses, I'm probably not going to really respect you as much as far as what you're telling me you're doing. And the reason why I say that is because, especially when you're starting out, because if your businesses are not going in the same direction, you're probably giving each business 25%. And so when we talk about multiple streams, and I wanted to mention this because, again, this has been a topic of conversation about multiple streams of income. And in most cases, if you got 5 businesses, you don't have multiple streams of income. You have one income that's financing 4 other businesses. That's not multiple streams. Or you might have 2. And the thing is that you gotta basically bring that stuff together. And so when we talk about Steve Harvey's, when we talk about I don't want to say P. Diddy, because P. Diddy's name is shit now, though. Because it's something else that came out. Oh, like, oh Lord, P. Diddy can't get a break. But just even Steve Harvey as an example, like understanding this, that you have in multiple streams. What we gotta understand is Steve Harvey mastered being a comedian first. So see, when he mastered being a comedian, know what they gave him? A comedy sitcom. Know what they asked him to do? Tour. That's multiple streams. But know what it was based off? What he had mastered. Then he got a radio show. And then he pivoted and became a relationship expert. But that's another subject. But that's something else though. But you can be a relationship expert if you've been divorced 3 times, because you can tell people a lot of what not to do. So yeah, so that does make sense. But again, we gotta understand, just like me, like I probably do, like even starting out with having the book. Then I started speaking and then writing the book. And then adding some other components to what I was doing. But the thing about it was all financial. It was all based on me being a tax expert first, and then being a business development strategist secondly. And the work was proven. So when I started basically getting in a position of success, I had receipts for years. And then when I started helping other people get in position of success, it was proven. I had receipts. And then you saw the lifestyle. It was receipts. So now when I start speaking, I start doing the book, I start doing all of those things, I manifest my success. Now I have multiple streams of income. And this is what you want. You want multiple streams, but you don't want to have multiple businesses at the beginning. Because see, as you start to grow, now once I achieved the level of success, then I bought the building. Then we started the RB Solution Center, which is a separate business. But what happens is it's still a wheelhouse of education and entrepreneurs. So I'm not going that far left. But with the RB Solution Center, what we were able to do is create multiple streams. We do virtual addresses. We do permanent office space. We do temporary office space. We do massage rooms. We do books, authors initiative, where we house books and have websites with business directories, author directory. All these are multiple streams. But we didn't create multiple businesses in a sense. It's just like I told y'all before. What we did was we planted a tree. We allowed that tree to have branches. So it's easier to take that one tree and create the branches than it is to plant multiple trees. Because again, you know how long trees take. So what I want you to do is not when you might cut off everything, because sometimes basically you might not have to give a damn about your passion because your passion might not be making you money. But let your gift and your money maker fuel your passion. So find that one thing that you're good at, and it don't necessarily have to be what you're passionate at, because some of y'all passionate about something you ain't good at. Find that thing that you're great at. Put all of it into that. That's going to manifest itself. When people see you putting that work into that, when you put in the work, it's going to accumulate much faster. And we didn't even get into compound interest. I'll probably talk about that a little bit more, but that's how rich people get rich, through compounding. And compound interest is one of the easiest ways to get rich without working. But the same with business. When you start putting the compound work into that one business, that business starts to grow. And the thing about it is, people, and anybody that followed me for over 15 years will tell you, I've always said, I don't have to chase money. Money finds me. And I've been saying that forever because, again, when you become great at something, you don't have to look for people. People will find you. They will bring you their money. And you think that when Jay-Z got started, Jay-Z said, I want to do liquor, I want to do a club, I want to do all this. No, people came to Jay and said, hey, man, I got this club idea and I want to put your name on it, put you behind it. I got this liquor idea. If you be the face of it, then we can break bread. I got this clothing line. What about starting a clothing line? Like, a lot of times people come to these celebrities when they create leverage and value based on what they mastered in the beginning. So I need y'all to kind of wrap all of those things up, put them to one if you can, or put some of them on the side. Prioritize. This is with the business evaluation. Again, I'm doing a whole business evaluation for you for $50, people, so we can analyze this. We can analyze and see where your business is, where you need to go, how to get in position for funding, business credit, how to get set up properly. We won't be able to win until we understand these principles. Y'all agree with that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Y'all just saying that because I'm probably giving y'all some liquor. Let me see if y'all have some liquor. Okay.
I'm a little sweaty over here.
Keisha hating on my strip. I was supposed to not be drinking. That's against the Stripper Boy Fine program. Yeah, I ain't gonna be Stripper Boy Fine. Yeah. Went to This Is It today. Y'all know, people say they don't like This Is It. And This Is It be the bomb.
This is it.
I got that turkey chop. That turkey chop never misses. That turkey chop never misses. All right, so the last thing, man, before we get into the streams of income, and before we get into the why you definitely need to get that right D to be able to get your business, your life to the next level. You got that right D in your life, it changes things. All right. This is, and I'm not sure who was that talked about the 10, 10, 10, 70. This is what I want y'all to do with y'all money too. And I thought it was a great concept. I came up with something like this before, but in order to start creating wealth, in order to start building for the future, one of the things is like, it was another video that I saw, and it said millennials, at the rate that millennials are going right now, they will not be able to retire until 85. That is crazy, people. they will not be able to retire to 85. What are you doing at 85? What are you doing at 85? Because you sure ain't jumping on no planes and hitting these countries and all the things that you desire to do. So again, even at 70, you don't want to be trying to do that. Be like, well, yeah, I still got about 15 years left. The way my lifestyle is built up, bruh, I'm not trying to work that long. I'm not trying to work that long. I'm trying to be gone and living life and not have to worry about no monies at 70 years old, at 60 years old. This is why I created the lifestyle that I did. And this is why I move like I move and I travel like I travel now. Because if I get it out of the way now, and for some reason I can't do it in another 10 years, I ain't tripping because I'm not going to be working to 85. What do they say, millennials? I'm a little above a millennial now, though. But the 10-10-10, this is what I need y'all to do with y'all money, people. And it makes perfect sense. 10% of your money that you receive, we want 10% of that to go to charity. And charity can be anything. You know, if it's church for you, that's fine. If it's different organizations, I know a great charity called the RichBoi Foundation. So you can go to my website, therichboifoundation.com, and see what we're all about. We're about financial literacy for single mothers. Well, no, single parents, because there's daddies out here that's single parents too, for single parents and for the youth. You know, and so we also help with bill assistance, getting in position for financial stuff. And our gala, I signed the paperwork today. I'll have my scholarship gala April 27th, people. So, you know, I'll give y'all some details coming soon. But 10% to charity. And it don't have to come to me, but go somewhere, give back. And don't wait until you give back. I mean, don't wait till you get or you think you got to be in a position. You can give now. You can do everything. And if you believe in blessing, see, we believe in karma for everything else. When we're in relationships, he's going to get his karma. And we believe, he going to do, it's going to come back on him. And it's going to come back on her. And this, why we don't believe in karma when it believes in comes to giving. And probably the reason why you're not in a position to give because you never gave. You know, and so the thing about it is people always, they'll tell me, well, you probably give and you do this because you have. No, I have because I did. Again, if you trace my steps and you rock with me for the last 15, 20 years, you'll see that I've always done. Everything that I'm doing now, I've always done. I've always mentored. I've always helped. So again, I believe I've been blessed because of that. The other 10%, I want you to take in your money and put in investments. Put in investment accounts. Invest. Let your money make money. This is how you win. Because see, right now, we don't have a lot of time. And if you don't have a 2-income household, and most of y'all say, well, I don't have a spouse. I ain't looking to get married soon. No, I ain't talking about your spouse. I'm talking about your money. Make your money work. The one thing rich and successful people understand is your money got to be making money. This is that compound effect. It got to be making money. At the rate in which we going, people, you ain't going to do it. Look, you ain't going to job your way to success. You ain't going to job your way to riches. It ain't likely. And I ain't saying it can't happen, but it's not likely for most people. You know why? Because already the government is already taking 40 to 50% of your money. Again, don't be out here hashtag winning. I'm winning. And you're doing 100% of the work and the government taking 40 to 50% of your money. That ain't winning. You better have 2 people working. You and your money. You and your money better be working. So at least 10% to investments. And the one thing I've learned about Black people, we are very resourceful. So that means if I take 20% out of my money, I'm gonna still survive. Because you know what? I'm gonna adjust. That means that 20% gonna fall is gonna be taken out somewhere else. You know what? I'm gonna say, well, I used to get my hair done every week. I used to get a haircut every 2 weeks or whatever. Now I ain't gonna be able to do that. I ain't gonna be able to go every week. It's gonna have to be every 2 weeks. I'm gonna learn how to do my own trim up or something. Or I ain't going to Starbucks as much. I ain't eating out as much. We gonna make a sacrifice somewhere to still make whatever we basically taking out work. Then I want you to take 10% to go to savings. I want you to take 10% to go to savings. And I know there's people say, well, you don't want to have money sitting in the bank because, again, money that's sitting in the bank is losing its value. Your money should be working. Yeah, you got money that's working. You got money that's working, but you still need easily access money. Because see, that money that's in your retirement, if something was to happen, an emergency was to happen, you take that out. You got to go through a process. They're going to penalize you. You still got to have a savings to where you have easy access emergency fund. We got to have an emergency fund. So still, it's not the bulk of your money being tied up in there. It's a portion of it. But that's that easy access money. And you live off of 70% of your money. And I guarantee you, you'll make 70% work. If you be in there every night, turning off every light, every day, unplugging everything, making sure your electric bill is not as high, you'll make it work. The one thing I believe in Black folks is y'all gonna make it happen. And I said something the other night. Not Kevin Hart show.
Cat Williams.
Cat Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I was at the Cat Williams show. Y'all went there?
Whatever.
Oh, dang. But yeah, I looked around, and when Cat said, it's a beautiful thing to see a sellout crowd and folks, basically 12,000 people in here sold out. And I'm looking at all these Black folk. I say, not near one of y'all Black folk better ask me for nothing. Because I always believe we can make whatever happen, we happen. If I said, I need $150 for you to invest in this, $150? I don't know about that. Ooh. If I say you're going to see Cat Williams, oh shit, I got my ticket already. I'm up front, dog. I'm up front.
You get the extension on the light bill.
Yeah, I'm up front. So this is why it'd be hard for me to believe that you can't make the sacrifices to change your life. When I go to the Kevin Hart show and he got to add a show Sunday because the first one sold out. Now he's coming back in March again because they added another show. Like, come on, he got to add 2 shows because Black folks buying up all of the tickets. And it's one of y'all out there saying, well, they ain't just Black people, white people be going too. Yeah, you can count them though. You can count the many Black or white people be there, Asians or who be there. It's mostly us, but we never have money. So don't tell me you can't live off of 70%. You might have to just wait for the Netflix special. You don't have to be everywhere.
Right.
You don't have to be everywhere if you're trying to change the dynamics of your life. That matters. That matters. What y'all talking about? We're going to see D.L. Hughley.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to eat some vegan food.
Who wants to see D.L.?
Huh?
You not going to see it?
I think they called her today, told her she can come.
Going to see D.L. tomorrow?
She don't like comedy though. She said tomorrow.
In March.
Oh.
From Cali.
Yeah, so again, man. So 10% in charity, 10% in investments, 10% to savings, and 70% to live off. 70% to live off. And another video that I sent my group was this lady was talking, and she was talking about how they're multimillionaires now. And her and her husband make pretty good money. Both of them would be over, I think both of them made over 6 figures. But what they did was, and she was of the Caucasian persuasion. She said what they did was they decided to live off of one income. They decided to live off one income. And with one income, they made everything work. They sacrificed some stuff, but with the second income, they saved and invested. And that money accumulated to where their portfolio between savings account, the amount that they have equity in their house, because part of it was basically about $400,000 equity in their house, savings account and investments account, they were worth over $1 million by choosing to live off of one income. And people, it's possible. And I talked about this shows ago. The biggest detriment to the majority of us in our community is we think the word sacrifice and downgrade are negative words. And 80% of y'all on these lives right now need to really get that word in your vocabulary. Downgrade. Because some of y'all kids are gone. You still got a 5-bedroom house. You still paying a mortgage on that 5-bedroom house. You got 2 luxury cars, 3 luxury cars, and you struggling to make these car notes. Downgrade. Who gives a shit? Because we always say, I don't care what people think. You know, I'm this and that. No, a lot of y'all care what people think. Because if you get a smaller house that's more feasible, now people are whispering, the family whispering that you ain't doing well. You done fell off. And we worried about that as grown-ass people. I always say people gonna talk about you if you do good or bad. You might as well do good. If they gonna have something to say if you do well. People, understand this word, man. Sacrifice and downgrade. Brother, I said this when I bought my last vehicle. I said, I'm not getting another luxury car. Why? Why? I spent over $100,000 on down payments on luxury cars over the years. And I said, if I ever got another vehicle, I'm not getting a luxury because I'm thinking like, you know what? That's some rental properties. And so when I told one of my mentees that I said, I might get a Maxima or something, man. Next time I like Maxima. I had one before. They cool. First thing he said was, man, when you pull up, they're going to be like, Brian fell off or whatever. I said, you know what? They're going to say that while I'm sitting on the beach. I said, they're going to say that while I'm at the beach in the pretty water, that talking about how I fell off because I didn't get another luxury car. I'm like, bruh, that's the mentality that's killing us. Bruh, I don't care. I pull up in that Ford F-150 in valet and teach the dudes how to basically get it started, roll the window down. Man, I'm not worried about that. Know it's a beautiful feeling? Having financial security and freedom. That's beautiful. And you're scared to downsize because you're worried about what people are going to think. But your peace of mind is a beautiful thing. Not having to worry about all these different things. Not worrying about stuff. And we talked about this on the show one time before. Like somebody told me that Black people are making more money than we ever made. We have more millionaires than we've ever had. So that's the progress that we're making. But isn't it funny how we got more millionaires, more people making more money, bigger, everything than we've ever had, but we have more mental illness, more depression, more stress, more than anything. You know why? Because we got more stuff than we've ever had. Because we make $1 million and we go get a $750 house. We got 3 luxury cars. We got stuff. Well, at some point, y'all adults got to stop being validated by a $3,500 Louis bag that has no value. No impressed by that? Broke people. People with money ain't impressed by that. The first thing I see when you basically show me all of these things is like, I'm wondering what your portfolio look like. Do you have something in place for your daughter, for your son, for your child? That's the first thing I'm thinking now. And don't get me wrong, I used to be a labor hoe. If you follow my background and go to New Orleans, they'll tell you Tolo Jupe. But again, when I was in New Orleans, I was young. But when I started adulting, I realized that had no validity. Who was I validating that for? The Gucci stuff, for who? Why? Bro, we got to change the dynamics. All right, 10, 10, 10, 70. 10% to charity, 10% to investments, 10% to savings, and 70% you're going to live off. I guarantee you it's going to change your life because you're going to sacrifice and you're going to take some things out of your life that you probably didn't need. When you start seeing your investments account grow, when you start seeing your savings account grow, you're going to want to start putting more in there. You're going to want to put more. That's a beautiful thing to see money grow, man, because what happens is that creates freedom. And that's all what we're chasing, freedom. We ain't even chasing millions of dollars. If we chasing enough money to create the freedom that we need, that's what we want. Because that freedom now becomes peace of mind. What's up, Brother Al? Hey, man, I need to talk to you because let's talk about these DR properties. All right, y'all. So, multiple streams of income. This is where you want to be. This is the easiest. They have what they call passive income. Y'all know what passive income is? Passive income is that income. I ain't doing shit to make this money. I'm making money while I'm on the beach. Everybody say making money while you sleep. I say making money while you're on the beach. The passive income is what we want. You have different type of passive income. You have, passive income, you have different streams. You have earned income. Earned income comes from a job. That's not considered passive. That means you're working for it. Again, you're doing 100% of the work and you're getting 50% of the money. 40 if you're lucky. That's not a good deal. That's not a good deal. That's like you going buy a pair of shoes and you pay $150 for the shoes and they give you one. What? That's the same concept. What is that okay with you? Is that okay? Well, you should be angry. And I'm not saying that you are when you are in your job. I'm not saying again. But if that angers you, then you need to start making some moves. Because you are one shoer. And so basically that's okay. That's okay for some people, I guess. Some people got gout. They foot swell. One shoe, maybe they left foot. So, maybe they use it for that reason. I don't know. I don't know. I'm looking for, but I know it don't work for me. So earned income is a stream of income. And when I say this, people, I don't mean necessarily quit your jobs. You don't have to always quit your job. But this is the income that you least want. Because as I stated, you're doing 100% of the work and they're giving you 50% of the money. And if you say that's for you, I'm cool. I'm going to just call you one shoe. Then you want profit income. Profit income is from buying or selling something. This is where we want to be. And when we talk about buy, I mean that you're the person that's actually on the selling side. So when you selling something, that's profit income. This is part of the income that we want. We want profit income. We want to create a situation where we're selling something. And it don't always have to be something tangible. The one thing I always say, what I sell is I sell value. I sell value. And people will pay for value. It's not too many people won't pay for value. And what value means for the most part is I'm getting more than I expected for my money. So when you do tax business with me, when you do business plan, coaching, whatever, you're usually gonna get more than you paid for. So I'm selling value. People will pay for value. What are you selling? So let me see in y'all comments to see what are y'all selling. If anybody out there selling anything, let me see what you're selling. So profit income is basically having a business. It's having a business. And if you're doing it on the side, you're still selling something. You're still making revenue. And that can supplement your job. So you have another stream. And just say, again, I'm not telling you to quit your job. If you like your job, some people say they have a good job, they make a lot of money or whatever. So now supplement that. And now you have multiple streams. Supplement it with selling something. Then you have interest income. You have interest income. People, when you start putting your money into specific types of accounts, you start getting interest that you basically get from that. This is when you hear, when they say rich and successful people have enough money or made enough money or have money in the bank and they can live off the interest. Now, you can't put $8 in there and think you're going to live off the interest. It's probably not going to happen. But if you understand what we talked about the compound interest. So if you start putting stuff in interest-bearing accounts, it starts to accumulate interest. The more you put in there, the more it starts to accumulate. And that matters, people, because again, it may not always be because you can make money off of rental income, offset it with the expenses, the mortgage of the home, and pay zero taxes on that money. Pay zero taxes on that money. And let me tell you something else. This is something that one person, I don't know if y'all follow Nehemiah Davis, but Nehemiah understood the whole process of with a lot of spaces. He was renting out spaces that he didn't even own, making rental income off of other people's stuff. And this is something that we're going to put in place with the RB Solution Center. What we're looking to do is create a referral situation where we have event space for classes, networking events, different functions, seminars. We have a rental facility. If you say, well, Brian, I know plenty of people that want to rent. They rent, they pay, and we share. You can make money off of just referring people to rental spaces. That's considered rental income. So again, you have opportunities to create multiple streams. Capital gains. Capital gains primarily come from stocks. The sale of stocks. One of the things that you can do is start investing in stocks that you are familiar with. A lot of people say, well, I don't understand stocks. I don't know stocks. Stocks mean that all you're doing is putting a certain amount of money into a company. You buying a share, you buying we call shares of that company. So that means think of something that you use all the time. I would even say Netflix. I watch Netflix. I like movies. With Netflix, if I buy Netflix stock, I become now a part of Netflix, their business. So that means every time I'm watching them, every time I'm making money off of something I own. Start with the things that you purchase regularly. If you don't know how it works, if you don't want to get too sophisticated, talk to a financial advisor and say, well, you know what? These may not even cost that much, but right now, tech stocks are hot. Tech stocks are hot. If you're into tech, if you don't know about tech, find out, because technology is shifting. People, we already know AI coming. No, I'm lying. AI ain't coming. AI is here. And a whole bunch of other things that's coming along with AI from a technology standpoint. Why not get ahead of the game? And see, because we're ignorant to it, we think it costs a lot of money to get involved. No, you can buy partial shares. But then what happens is you start building capital gains off of this. As that stock starts to grow, as it starts to win, you start to get gains. Gains now is money again that you basically get for just being invested in that company. And let me tell you something about capital gains too. The beautiful thing about capital gains, and this is what I want some of y'all to do. If y'all have like a lot of capital gains through your job, if you got stock options through your jobs, or even if you're just investing, and somebody did this, man, and it was brilliant. Like, this is what I teach my clients a lot of time, and this is what I talk to y'all about a strategist. Make sure before you make any moves, talk to your tax strategist. This person pulled out $80,000 in stocks. So that means they cashed in $80,000 in their stocks, which their capital gain. All right, listen, $80,000. They got the full $80,000 as income to them. But their cost basis basically, let's say cost basis, meaning what you invested or the company invested. So especially if you have a job, and the companies, what they do is if they allow you to buy stock option, you can get it at a discount. You buy this, the cost basis was $60,000. So what happens is you pull the money out, you got $80,000 in your account, because the cost basis of what the stocks were actually worth and purchased at was $60,000. The $60,000 subtracts from the 80, meaning you only get taxed on 20. So now I got $80,000, the whole 80. I'm only getting taxed on 20. So my capital gain was 20,000. Right, I won. I got $80,000. That's 60,000 I paid no tax on. So to start a business, this is one of the games. And I've had a couple of clients that actually do this, as opposed to your 401k. Because with your 401k, if you don't do a loan against it, now that's the one thing I would advise you to do. Do a loan against your 401k, because you don't have to pay no tax, no penalty. But what happens is a lot of y'all saying, I wanted to start my business. I pulled out $80,000 to start my business from my 401k. you're probably not going to get the 80, because if you have the taxes taken out off top, the 20%, they're going to take that. So you're going to get 60, but you're going to still get taxed on the whole 80, and you're going to get penalized for pulling the money out early. That's a loss, people. That's a loss. So what happens is, you started your business now, but now if you pay the 10% penalty plus the 20% taxes, you're pretty much about $28,000 in the hole already with the money you borrowed off of $80,000. So you're already playing from behind. This is why these things are important. So understanding capital gain, and now put my money in, let them make money, and then pull that money out and getting taxed on a small portion of it is the game. So another stream of income is capital gain. All right, the next stream is royalties. It's basically from your idea, from others using your idea, which is a book. You know, you can do a movie, you can do books, you can do all these different things, and selling it to somebody else. So you may say, you know what, I'm not that person. I don't like being up front. I got great ideas. I wrote a manuscript. I wrote an ebook. I wrote all these different things. You can put that out. Let somebody spearhead that. It's out there. And what they do is you get royalties off of everything that's sold. Or you come up with an idea. You say, you know what? I have great ideas. I'm just not an implementer. Sell your ideas to somebody and then get royalties off of every sale that they have. You're making money for doing nothing. This is the beauty of understanding this. And see, all of these things that I'm telling you, except for the earned income and maybe the business, you're basically making money while you're sleeping, while you're on the beach. That's the ultimate goal. Then you have dividend income. You know, you have dividend income, basically, which again, that's from investments. So with mutual funds, when you invest in mutual funds, which is pretty similar to stocks, mutual funds is kind of different in a sense. But again, now if I diversify my portfolio and I'm putting my money in different places, I got my money in stocks, I got it in mutual funds, I'm getting money from capital gains, I'm getting money from dividends, I'm getting money from a bunch of different places that I'm not working for. So again, if I got 3 of these that I'm doing, you know what that is? Multiple streams of income. That's 100% different from you having 3 businesses and only one of them making money. You don't have multiple streams of income. You have one business stream. You have one stream that's financing the other 2. Then you have residual income. Residual income basically is income, the same thing. If you're making money for almost doing nothing. Like, perfect example of residual income is multi-level marketing. Multi-level marketing is residual income. So once you get into multi-level marketing and somebody basically get under you, you bring people in, you're making money off of all those people for not even doing nothing anymore. You still continuously make money. But the thing about it is, most of these are considered residual because you're consistently making money without putting in work. So when you start talking about multiple streams of income, this is really where you want to be. This is where you want to be within one of these when you talk about your money making money. Because see, again, time, when you have 4 different businesses, you know how hard it is to operate 4 different businesses? And the thing about it is that you only putting in work on 2 of them. Or if you have all of them, and now what you're doing is you're putting 25% on 4 different businesses. I'll give y'all some time to figure it out, come up with an equation, whatever you want to do. If you're putting 25% into each business, when have 25% ever been good enough to reach the levels of success you're trying to reach? So this is why a lot of your businesses are not manifesting. This is why a lot of y'all basically are jumping you know, from one business to the other business because you're not giving it enough time and you're not putting in enough work. The one thing I did was in the tax business, you don't have nobody. I've been in the tax business 27 years, and I guarantee you can't find one person to say, well, I remember when Brian was doing taxes and then he was doing this and he was doing that. No, I mastered my craft. So even in the beginning when things were slow, I didn't go and do insurance. I didn't go and do credit. I didn't go and do all these different things. And I'm not knocking other people for it because everybody's fight is not my fight. But what I did understand was if I take that downtime when it's not as busy and I master my craft during that time, because if you're doing 100 other things when you don't have the business, when are you mastering your craft? You know, and so I did understand that because I understood once I master it, money would never be a problem. Because the one thing about people, they want to deal with masters. They want to deal with people who are great at what they do. Wow. So it was never a problem finding money. It was never a problem finding people. So once I understood that, I understood the art of my money making money. This is how you win in business and in life, man. Creating these business streams or these streams of income where your money is making money. And now you got two people working. And the beautiful thing about it is that y'all see my lifestyle. You see how I travel, how I go, how I'm doing things. You know why I'm not ever worried about coming and going and go so often? Because while I'm gone, somebody's working my money. So I'm never in a position where no money is being generated. This is how you play the game. And it didn't start with me. Let me tell you something. White folks been doing this forever, man. They've been doing this forever. They be panicking if they ain't ready to retire by 45. They be like, what am I gonna do? I'm almost 50. You know, they be in a frenzy. We try to figure out like, what you want? You gonna retire at 50? What you gonna do? And I had people asking me that too. Like when I said I wanted to be retired by 50, people asking me like, well, what you gonna do? And you go, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do nothing if I choose to. I'm gonna jump on a plane and go see some beaches. That's what I'm gonna do. And until you change your mindset to start thinking that way and actually understanding money making money, and we're not even gonna get into, we'll probably get into it eventually, but the whole life insurance part of it, you know, understand how to play that game and how to leverage that, you know, and just the different insurances, because that's a whole nother level of wealth. That's a whole nother level of wealth, you know, and so we got to start getting in that. If we feel like we too old, turn your kids onto it, put them in place to get it, man, because we got to change the dynamics of this game. And as I stated early on, if your child have to get it out of the mud when you got it out of the mud and you know better, you're a bad parent. You're a bad parent. You know, and so again, and again, I'm not judging nobody for it, because sometimes we don't know. And that's why I say, if you know better, I can clearly say my mama didn't know better at that time. But I would be damned if I would let my daughter go through the same things. If you don't have that mentality, it's going to be a struggle for us, man. All right, so if y'all have questions on any of that, definitely make sure y'all reach out, man. Don't forget, go to richboyinvestments.com and y'all can sign up for the $50 business evaluation. If you want me to go through your business with you, kind of talk about your growth, where you need to be, what you're trying to do, you know, go to richboyinvestments.com. You'll see make a payment, pay, and then we're gonna set it up and kind of analyze where you're at, where you're going, what you need to do. All right. I want to mention this because somebody did bring this up and asked me to talk on the new tax law and about it. And I was surprised because a lot of people don't know about this. The government didn't tell people about this. Well, one of the new tax laws. And this one is basically the IRS is changing the tax bracket, people. This is one of the best times to be smart about your money. And when I talk about being smart about your money, they're giving you an advantage. What happens is over the last couple of years, and they suddenly said it, they hadn't been talking to people, they hadn't been saying, if you don't have a tax strategy, you don't hear about it. But they're trying to give breaks because they know that the economy is still not good, even though they're telling you certain things about what Biden did. And be honest with you, it's going to get a little worse. The one thing that we do know is the price of everything is going up. The price of everything is going up. But people money is not going up, you know, and so it's going to be a fight because those prices ain't going back down no time soon. And what the IRS did was they changed the tax rate. Now, your tax bracket, a lot of people want to know what their tax brackets are. And your tax bracket is based on your taxable income, not your total income. It's based on your taxable income. And y'all don't worry, I'm gonna get to the D. I'm gonna get to the D. Why if you get to the right D in your life, oh, it's gonna change your life, man. It's gonna make you so happy, so successful. I see you over there smiling. You like, I gotta get the right D in my life. I see you. I see you. All right, but we're gonna get to that. We coming. Now, the IRS took what they did with the tax brackets was, all right, I'm gonna use this for an example. Let's say, and I use single, since everybody be claiming that all these women, I'm single. And since we have all these single people, if the tax bracket for a single is 35, let's say 35,000, that's your taxable income. 35,000 and above, you go from a 12% tax bracket to a 22% tax bracket. And people, that's major. You're talking about a whole 10%. You ain't making a whole lot of money. You're paying 22% in taxes. That's crazy. But what they did was they extended the tax bracket to 45%. So now if you make over 35%, you don't go from a 12 to a 10%. You stay in the 12% up to 45,000. And each filing status has its own amount. So when you're talking about, you have single, which means you unmarried with no dependents. You have married filing joint, means I'm married and I'm filing with my spouse. You have married filing separate, means I'm married, but I don't want to file with you because you jacked up. Then you have head of household, means I'm unmarried and I'm claiming a dependent. And then you have qualifying widow, meaning that I was married, my spouse passed away, but I still file qualifying widow because I can get a bigger deduction. So each filing status has its own tax rate, and it may go up depending on the filing status. But for single, let's use the 35 again. If you go above the 35, you move to a new tax bracket, the 22%. But now they moved it all the way up to 45,000. So that means now my taxable income, and where the taxable income falls into play, let's say if I made $60,000, $70,000. After, if I have a business loss, if I have rental property loss, if I have student loan interest deduction, if I itemize, if I don't itemize, I get the standard deduction that the government's going to give me, which is about $13,000 and something for single people. If I have, well, I ain't gonna have no kid if I'm single. So after all of those, if I have the business loss, if I have the rental property loss, if I have the standard deduction, all of that reduces my income down. So after all those deductions and write-offs, if I have them, it brings my income down. So now if it goes under the 35, I stay in that tax bracket. I stay in the 12%. If it goes over, I go to 22%. But now my taxable income has risen from 35, the rate from 35 to 45. So now I can make up to $45,000 as taxable income and still only pay 12%. And that's big, people. And I'm gonna tell you why, because it's based on what we talked about before. When we talked about saving, sacrificing your money in order to build the wealth that you need to build and the freedom that you need to have, you actually have the ability now to save 10% more of your money. And if you look at it over the course of a year, let's say if you made 70,000 and you can save yourself 10% of your taxable income, which basically, even if it's 42,000, you're saving yourself possibly $4,200 for the year. Now, I don't know about y'all, but $4,200 for the year, some people say, well, that ain't a whole lot, but it's extra. It's money you wouldn't have had if they wouldn't have changed this. So even if I say, well, you know what, I'm going to put in my mind, I got the old bracket, I'm going to put that aside. I equate everything to a trip. $4,200, that's probably about 3 trips that I wouldn't have had the money for. Well, you bougie and expensive, I know. so I know, I know how y'all be rolling. And I know how Keisha, when she go to Tennessee, how she wild out. So that's $4,200 in VIP right there. So, but me, because again, I've mastered this game, and I say that too because again, I'm gonna use some points, I'm gonna use some different stuff. But nowadays, if you do it right, you can get you a great trip for $1,500. You can get a great trip for $1,500. When you talk about a 4 or 5 day trip at a resort, all inclusive with airfare, yeah, you can do it. It can be done. So if you implement these strategies, man, the beautiful thing is, what's up, KTZ? The beautiful thing is that it works. I ain't telling you nothing that I haven't done myself. I show you guys my financial statements where my money have grown. I ain't doing nothing. I ain't telling you nothing I haven't done myself. I ain't telling you nothing that I haven't seen what people done. So I know this work, man. I know this work. All right, so the moment y'all been waiting for. Lady, y'all want these D. Y'all want that D. Ladies want that D. So I told y'all, if y'all get the right D in your life, man, things will change. Things will change. But y'all basically ain't getting the right D. Like if you get the right D, you'll be set up. You won't have to worry about nothing, man. Like when we talk about bills, we talk about travel, we talk about freedom. You get that right D, you'll stay happy. And so that's why this is so important. You around here looking in the wrong corners. Y'all around here creeping at the wrong address, looking for the D. Looking for the D. You get the right D with your life, your finances, bruh, you gonna win. You gonna win. And so when I talk about the right D, and sometimes you gotta have multiple D's to be happy. You gotta have multiple D's to make you happy. Because again, nothing and nobody's perfect. So it may not be one D that can do the one thing. So when I talk about having the right D in your life, ladies, and I ain't gonna say men, it depends on, I don't judge. But again, I know mostly what we have on here, I would say probably, I did see a couple of cats come on, but we're probably about 90% strong women. So in order to create the success, the happiness that you need, you got to get the right D. And the first D that you need in your life, you got to make a decision. You got to make a decision that you want better. And y'all can write these down. I want y'all to take these D's and put them in your life. Because again, the right D can make you happy. That first one is decision. You have to make a decision that you love you more than you love your job, the people that's giving you headaches in your life, the people that's not good for you, the negativity. You got to make that decision to change now, to let things go, let people go. Anything that's not conducive, to where you're trying to get to, you got to make a decision to let it go. Because as they say, when it happens to you once, it may be a mistake. It happens twice, I might have got tricked. But if it happened to you a third time, it's a decision. It's a decision. So this might be the D you need in your life. You might need to start with the decision that you want to change. You want to be better. So you put this D in your life, man, you smiling, you happy, you moving along. Because know why? If I got rid of people who's weighing me down, that's some good D. That's some good D, because if they weighing me down, what's happening is I'm probably not happy. I'm aggravated at times. I gotta make a decision. That's the first thing I gotta do. I gotta make a decision to get things and people who are not good for me out of my life. If you get that first D, you ain't looking back. You're smiling, because peace of mind, what we talked about, peace of mind. And whenever we take something negative out of our life, bro, it's like you lift something off of your back. Like you feel good. And fellas, I got some cats on here and some of my dogs on here. What I need y'all to do, I need y'all to give some of these women that's not on here, give them some good D. And it might be the decision. You might help them make the decision to change their lives around. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Is that not some good D? A decision?
Yeah.
To change your life.
That's the only kind of D I want.
The next one, this might be the best D for you right here. You got to have discipline. You got to have discipline, man. At some point, you got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. And the only way that you're going to move forward with that decision that you make. Because see, what happens is if you get if that first D is good to you, then you're going to want some more. And that some more is that second D is that discipline. You got to want to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined. If you listen to people, when I say people, meaning motivational speakers, influencers, like the real influencers, not y'all cousins that y'all be listening on these reels, and I'm talking about real people like E.T. and Gary V and people that's proven. And they're going to tell you it comes back to discipline. You got to basically focus on discipline. And what I talked about this morning on our clubhouse call is even if you have a problem and you struggle with discipline, get books on discipline, watch videos on discipline. It's going to be hard to achieve anything that you want to in life without being disciplined. If you look at all the greats, from Kobe to Jordan to LeBron to Venus, Serena, Tiger, all of them, the one thing you'll hear them talk about is being disciplined. The first thing, what we talked about, they all got that good D. And so they made a decision that they wanted to be great. They made a decision that they wanted to be the best. And then they took it to another level through discipline. If you listen to Kobe's book, if you listen to Tim Grover's book, who trained Jordan. This dude basically had 3 people his whole life. This dude is a multi-millionaire, best-selling author, and he only had 3 clients: Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Dwayne Wade. And they all talked about discipline. When he talked about them, he talked about how discipline, what separated them from everybody else. How Kobe get up at 4:30, practice for 2 hours, go back to sleep, take an hour nap, get up again. And he just talked about his discipline of everything he did. Dwayne, the same way. Maybe not Jordan, because Jordan was a bully. Jordan would smoke cigars, go gamble, and still go play. So he probably wasn't as disciplined. But he talked about Jordan's work ethic, though. He talked about his work ethic, and that comes with discipline. So again, people, to not be able to give up certain things. If you know this is hampering you, and I always say it's always a struggle, but it's got to be a consistent fight, though, to create discipline, because discipline is the one thing that 95% of y'all don't have that's stopping you from getting to your goal. And I'm included in that. I'm changing my life now, but I know to be stripper boy fine, I cannot eat the way I eat. I cannot always eat sweets like I eat. So again, I got to create a form of discipline to make to get to the levels that I want to. So getting that D in your life is so important. Getting it in, and so you got to get this. You got to make a decision. Then you got to have discipline, and then you got to be dedicated. And that's the one thing that these greats, if you listen to the dedication, if you listen to the dedication that they had when you talk to them, when you listen to books or you read books on the dedication to achieving the goal that they set out was unbelievable. So when we talk about what we want to achieve, and it might not be in all aspects of your life, because the one thing that I basically done very well with those first 3 was the decision that I wanted to be successful. I wanted to have a lifestyle where I had no social or financial barriers or limitations. And then I became extremely disciplined in investing, put my money away, saving money. And then I got dedicated to it. And when I got dedicated to it, that's when it went to another level. And that's the same when you think about all the people that's great. They dedicated their lifestyle to what they was trying to do. So this is the things you have to do, man. You got it, women. I don't even know how to say it to the men, though, but we'll come up with something else. But again, the majority of people on here are ladies. Ladies, you got to get the right D in your life. And if you implement this D in your life, any one of these, if not all of them, you will be happy for a long time. You will smile. You will be stress-free. Because know what it allows you to do? Release. It allows you to create the freedom that you need. You have to be diligent. So when you basically come with the decision to do so, you got to be disciplined to get started and keep going. And when you start going, you got to be dedicated. You got to get in there. You got to have no excuses. And then you got to be diligent. You got to be diligent. And even before that, we probably even go to decisive. I mean, I wanted to talk about decisive before that, because again, when I make a decision, and decisiveness should have been second, I'm sorry, because when I make a decision that I want to change my life, I got to be decisive in what I want. I got to be decisive because, and y'all probably seen the video now, and I put this in my group as well. When I sent them this video, when Oprah said it, I just saw it again. Oprah was saying the reason why most people never get to where they want to be is because they don't know where they want to go. And that is so accurate, because when we make a decision, we're not decisive of where we want to go. We're like, no, I want to get my money. I'm ready. I'm ready to change my life. I'm ready to get. And then you're like, all right, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? So you got to be decisive in what you want. And you can't be all over the place. And that's the thing, is that even if you have 3 ideas, because I get people say, well, Brian, I got so many ideas. I got so many plans. I want to do this. That's fine. That's fine. But what you got to do is say, let's implement this first. Let's do this one first. When I tell you, see, when we sit down and you tell me about your ideas, I may say, well, let's pick the top 3. Let's pick the top 3. And then we kind of take it from there. But until you narrow it down, you're going to be indecisive. And if you're not decisive in your decision, what we normally do is we stand still. We don't do anything. We don't do anything. This is why you got to be decisive. After you decide that you want to change things, you want to change your life, you got to be decisive in what you want to do. And then the discipline comes to get it going, to get it started, to stay consistent. And then you got to be dedicated. Like E.T. say, you got to live the rest of your life making this happen. And that's where that diligence come in at. Like diligent, mean I ain't quitting, whatever. It's nothing that's going to stop me. So if I got that D in my life, lady, you get this, that's that fire D right there. Because there's nothing that can stop me at this point. If I'm diligent about winning, it's hard to stop. And some people say, well, how do I get there? The one thing I tell you to do is find your why. Find your why. Because see, if you do all of these things and you know your why is going to allow you to stay diligent. Your why can be a whole bunch of things. We all say, well, our kid is my why. My kid is my why. Well, why you ain't living like it? Why you ain't living like you say, I'll die for my kids? But don't live for your kids. Because the one thing we do know is you're living right now. So live for your kids. Put things in place. Live your life as if you was gone tomorrow. Your kids gonna be all right. And if y'all follow me, like I tell you, like I think about this every time, and I love it, man. It's a hell of a feeling. And when Daniel said it, it brought me back. When he said, when I die, my son's gonna be an instant millionaire. Bro, that's a hell of a statement. You gotta fight for that. You gotta live for that. Yeah, we'll die for him. But know what's gratifying in dying? Is leaving a financial legacy. If you leave whatever other legacy, that's great. But know what? If I left them $1 million with it, shit, that's a win. So when we talk about changing the dynamics of our community, we talk about changing the dynamics of our legacy. Bro, this is the blueprint. We got to make a decision to change the things in our life that's not in line with what we say we want. Because see, you're telling me one thing. I sit down with probably more people than anybody, or talk to at this point, probably more people than anybody on this call in a year basis. And most people tell me what they want, what they achieve, what they want to achieve, where they want to be, what they want for their kids. But their actions never line up with that. So when you tell me you want to create this for your kid, and you want to break the curse, and you want to break the cycle, how you gonna break it if you don't have that good D in your life? You got to get these D's in your life. You can't break it if you never make a decision to change your life and start getting the negative stuff out of your life and to start making moves. Because then when you say, you know what, I'm decisive in what I want. Because see, when we decisive in we want, we run much faster. One of the reasons why I named my book Running with Blinders, because what I said was it was so many business people out here was running businesses and had no idea where they was going. And when you don't know where you're going, you're usually going to stop. Or you're going to waste a lot of time riding in circles trying to find somewhere. But how do we act when we know where we're going? When we know where we're going, we rolling. We rolling. Hey, Miss Daphne. Hey, Jerry. Yeah, but it makes a difference. We already know. If you think about it, logically, if you think about it right now, think about the times when you didn't know where you were going. You actually got frustrated. You got frustrated when you didn't know where you were going. And when you know exactly where you're going, think about how your attitude is totally different. And some of y'all even be getting all sporty with it too, because if you know where you're going and somebody tell you, well, you ain't gonna get on 20, look, I know where I'm going. Y'all be getting all sporty with it. I'm just trying to help. I didn't know you know, but when you know, you see how your attitude is, like how the confidence you said that with. I know where I'm going. That's a whole different other confidence. That's the same with your life, with your business. You got to make a decision that you're going to take all the negativity out of your life. You got to make a decision to do so. And when you make the decision, you got to get disciplined enough to get it going and stay consistent. And that's when the dedication come in. You got to be dedicated to it. I don't always feel like everything. We don't always feel like. That's what separates. That's where the dedication comes in. That's where that diligence come in, is when I don't feel like it, I still do it. Do you think that everybody that's great, if they only worked when they felt like it, you know, and they did that, they would be at the levels they at? No. If I worked out only when I felt super energetic, I probably would never work out. Because when I wake up in the morning, I never want to get out of bed. Never. Now, once I get out, I'm good. But I don't never want to get out. I'm trying to think of a time in the last 7 years where I was like, man, I feel like getting out of bed. I don't think I said that. I don't even think I said that beyond the last 7. But again, y'all understand. We can't always do things when it's convenient. If you get this D in your life, that decision to say, I want something different, man, and you decisively know what it is, it's easier to have more discipline. It's easier to be dedicated to it. And that diligence is going to be something that's going to last you much longer. Because now, you know what happens is it becomes habit. It becomes routine. Does that make sense? If that makes sense to y'all, shoot me a fire or something, man. Hand clap, something. Whatever, Cash App, whatever. Yeah. But man, we gotta start today. Yeah, we gotta start today. Because again, we've been putting off and saying the same thing for the last 10 years. Oh, next year I'm gonna definitely do it. And the beautiful thing about it, it don't take a whole lot. Whatever you're trying to do, it don't take a whole lot to get started. If you're saying I want to start put money in my savings, I want to build my savings up, it starts with $10 each pay period. It starts with $20, $25, $50, whatever you can afford. But the thing is not the money, it's the discipline is what you're starting to achieve, because everything else is going to change. Everything else is going to come with it. The money is going to start to grow. You're going to implement. You just have to start the process. You got to be decisive in what you want to do. So if you say, don't even put a money on it. If you say, you know what, by the end of the year, I want to start growing my savings. I want to see my savings at a such and such amount. Don't even put an amount on it. Just say, I'm going to start my savings and I'm going to start investing. Because what happens is we don't see ourselves getting close to that goal that we set. And I always set goals. I want you to set goals. But if you know that you're not a goal achiever, I want you to just get started. So even if you're putting $10 in there, the whole process is getting started. Because sometimes we don't have realistic goals. We knowing that at the end of the pay period, we only have $8.43 left. But we're saying each pay period, I want to put $75 into savings. And I commend you. If you basically are that person that can make those type of sacrifices, do it. But if you know that you normally start something and stop, let's work on being consistent. Consistency basically brings you to all of this other stuff. Get this D in your life, man. If you get these D's in your life, start with one D, one good D. One good D that's going to make you smile, that's going to make you happy, that's going to take away that stress. It can change your life. It can change your life. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thumbs up.
You over there thinking about that good D. You tearing up. But yeah, we got to, and it's obtainable, people. That's the beautiful thing about it. It's obtainable. And this is why, again, I'll say bother me to some extent. It does, because again, we have too many people in our community that's not living their destined life. And the one thing about it is, ain't no turning backs. All that, if I'd have knew this 10 years ago, if I'd have knew this when I was younger, you don't, and you can't.
Right.
So you can do two things. You can start now and go all in, or you can pass this down to a young person. And so we got all kind of stuff coming up, man. So make sure that y'all follow, the RB Solution Center, the RB Solution Center on IG, because we got events coming up as always. This Saturday, we got an event. Basically, we're gonna talk LLCs, S Corp. You can go to Eventbrite and register for that. And let me RSVP. Let me break that down again. Because Black people really don't. I don't know if we don't like to be controlled, or we don't know what RSVP means. So maybe we don't RSVP because that's like you telling me what to do, and we don't be liking to be told what to do. So we say, well, go register for the event. Like, man, you don't tell me what to do. Dang, man, you the boss of me. I ain't going to register. I'm going to just show up. I'm going to show them. Right. And now when you can't get no food, you mad. And now you blasting the event. Like, man, they ain't even have enough food for everybody. Like, because your ass didn't register. We were doing the head counts. But yeah, they ain't have enough food for me. Yeah, so people go to RSVP. And then Sunday at the RB Solution Center, we're gonna have movie night, man, with B1 the movie with my man Rick Mathis. If y'all know Rick, he's a known filmmaker, man, around the country. He got some heavy hitters. He's all about financial growth, financial literacy in the Black community. And he got his new film out, B1 the movie. So we're gonna be here watching the movie. Also gonna have a phenomenal discussion, and so a lot of this stuff, you're gonna meet people. We're gonna talk about things to have people get in place, so we don't have this situation that we talked about before. When in the beginning, when I talked about pretty much more than 40% of all Americans don't have enough money secure for retirement. Over half of Black folks don't have enough money secure to retire. They saying millennials will have to work until they're 85. People, who the hell lifting boxes at 85? All right, so and you're right, man. Like, they don't RSVP and then want a second plate. Yeah. So again, man, go to the rbsolutioncenter.com. Go to the website. You'll see the upcoming events. We always doing something. If you have a business, we have a business directory. If you need a mailbox, a virtual mailbox, an address, we have all of those things as well for you. If you need office space, we got that for you. But you can see all of that on the website. Follow us. Go do the virtual tour and let us know how we can help you, how we can be impactful for the things you're doing. Spread the word, because again, we have something that's phenomenal. And not only that, it's needed. It's needed. A lot of times you don't even know you need it until you see it. All right, so man, we're gonna close up a little bit, but what I wanted to go through a few little things before we go. This is an article I did in Emerge magazine. So shout out to my girl Tiffany Boyer. This is the 7 mistakes of entrepreneurship. I'm not gonna even go through all of them. I'm gonna go through a couple of them, and then we may talk about a couple of them next week. And we all gonna make mistakes. The reason why I try to work with you guys on a lot of stuff is because I want you to cut your learning curve down. Mistakes are extremely costly with money and time, because a lot of times we make a lot of mistakes and we spend a lot of money and realize that wasn't the play. And what happens is we get shell shocked now. We don't even want to get into business no more. We're tired of it because I lost this money. Also with time. We lost a lot of time. So we shell shock. So what we try to do is really get in a situation where you don't have to worry about those things. All right. And I'm going to start in no particular order. I'm going to start with this one. Pricing your product or service too low or too high. So when we talk about 7 mistakes of entrepreneurs, it's a problem on both ends. And the reason why I say it's a problem on both ends, because sometimes you have to know who your market is. And if my price is too low, but I call myself high end, and I want to start marketing to high end people, you lose credibility. You lose a lot of value in that. You lose a lot of value in that. And I say that because if you're marketing to high end people, their mindset is, if it's that cheap, it can't be good. If it's that cheap, it scares people. Because if I'm used to dealing with something that I know, and I don't mind spending money on quality stuff, I'll pay. Everybody claim they'll pay for quality stuff. And I always get you to think about your own scenarios. Think about scenarios that you've been in. When you say, I know how much this kind of costs, and if it's $1,000, typically what you will pay, and somebody say, well, yeah, I normally do it. My price is about $400, $450. And you be like, $450? Like, hold up. Like, I know, like the cheapest I've ever seen anybody do this was $900. You leery. You ain't really jumping on that $450 because you're leery. You're thinking a whole bunch of negative stuff. And stop lying, because y'all do. Y'all do. You're thinking, man, they're gonna take my money and run. They're gonna leave. You can't buy quality material. How you gonna buy quality material at $450? So evidently, if you doing it, you ain't gonna make no money. We're more spooked than we are excited when somebody's too low. And then sometimes you outprice yourself. You outprice yourself. And I'm not saying be the lowest on the block, but you got to understand the marketplace. You got to understand the marketplace. When I started, one of the things I did was I called around to all of the tax offices, and I was Mr. Johnson, I was Willie, I was everybody, like getting prices. And if I had this and I had that, how much would this be? And so I saw, probably after about 15 calls, I kind of saw a consensus Like some people was way out of the way and some people was really cheap. But the average. So when I knew what my prices were, I was like, okay, I'm in the range. I ain't the cheapest, and I'll tell you that today. I never try to be the cheapest. I'm gonna try to be the best, and people will pay for the best. So this is one thing I told my daughter the other day. My daughter was doing some business stuff for somebody, and she said, well, I just got a new person. I just got a new client. She does websites and graphics and stuff. And I say, well, she's like, I say, are you comfortable now in your pricing? She said, yeah. She said, I think I am now. I think I got it. I don't mind charging for add-ons. This is the thing that I tell you to do as well. Price high and justify. Price high and justify. Now, I'm not saying ridiculous, but price high and justify. And what that means is that I'm not definitely going to go low because I'm not in this to break even. I'm not in this. And let me tell you something about people. People can always tell you, oh, if you do business with me, I got about 10 other people that I'm going to bring you. People. I've been in this tax game 27 years, and I'm waiting for them 10 other people to come. I'm still waiting for them 10 other people to come. My whole office, I'm telling you, people follow me. If I go somewhere and get my taxes done, my whole office, they follow me, like all my family. Like, damn, what your family don't have GPS? I'm just trying to figure out why they never made it. I'm just like, what? Like, do I need to call Uber? I don't know, but they hadn't made it yet. You know, and so again, don't price all of that though. I mean, don't worry about low pricing and don't worry about somebody telling you. Give them an incentive once they bring those people. So if that's the case, if you bring me 10 people, I'm going to show you some love. That's how you play that. And if they good to their word, then you good to your word. And as Slim just said, a high price keep headaches away. But price high and just We got balance. We can take family trips. The life of an athlete, especially, bruh, they for 6-7 months, they in their season. And now for the rest of the year, they're training continuously. They got summer leaves, they got all kind of stuff. So yeah, they'll take some trips, but they still can't give family life as much as they give in their career. It happens in corporate America. It happens in corporate America. People who try to get up the ladder, they at the office all the time. They're working, they're trying to move up the ladder. And it's always that thing, well, you ain't never home to spend time with us. It happens on all levels when you're trying to achieve something. And I'm not saying it can't happen. It can in rare situations, but you see it more times than not. So you gotta have that dog in you in the beginning. This is why I tell you, do it while you're young, when you don't have responsibility. Do it while you're single sometime. Because again, you know how many people that gave up all of that to try to be great to get in a relationship? And this is why when the relationship split, it's so much regret, because people feel like they gave up what they could have achieved on a higher level to make sure they had balance in their relationship. Now that's just a relationship coach coming out of me. That's another live right there. Yeah, that's another live. We'll do that live later, you know. But yeah, so we won't get into that too much. But that's two of the things, though. Really not willing to put in work. Not willing to put in work, like talking about it in the beginning. You know, you gotta put in work, man. You gotta put in work in the beginning. And you know, and I had a meme that I put out a long time ago, and I hadn't put it out in a while, but it basically said, yeah, it said, oh, success does not have office hours. Yeah, success don't have office hours. If you saying my office hours is 9 to 5 and you're an entrepreneur, bruh, in the beginning, I'll be hard pressed to believe that you've reached the levels of success, because it is not the norm. Yeah, it's just not the norm. And you have few cases, but it's not the norm. If you listen again to most successful people, they're gonna have you a story and say my first relationship, I didn't know how to balance. My first relationship was about my business. It was really growing. It was about me. So again, it matters, people. So hopefully, man, hopefully y'all got something out of this. Hopefully this changed and helped somebody. Hopefully, especially my ladies, y'all take this D. Any one of these, you choose whichever D you want to put in your life. And hopefully it makes you smile. It makes you progress. It makes you happy. It makes you successful. Because if you get the right D in your life can change forever. You know, it can change forever. So let's make sure that we stay on top of all this. Let's make sure that we follow the RB Solution Center. If you're on Facebook and you're not following me on IG, follow me at RichBoi, RichBoiJup1. I want y'all to get y'all money up. This is why I'm teaching y'all these strategies so y'all can save, start that fund account, because we're gonna do a lot of trips. Like, you know I'll be on the move, but we're gonna do some growth trips this year. We're gonna do some getaways, some group trips, which we're gonna implement some financial stuff on it to make it tax deductible. So you're gonna be able to get you a trip to Jamaica or wherever we go and be able to write it off. You know, and so, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna fellowship and have fun. Because part of what we do with the Solution Center, like I said, the whole goal is to create solutions. A lot of y'all basically don't free your mind. You don't get aware enough. And those type of things help you become, you know, don't fall into the mental illness, the depression, the overwhelmness. So when you have things and people forcing you to get out, you can live a much better lifestyle, man. You can win. You know, and that's the whole premise of me getting on here. This is the whole premise of me teaching you these strategies so you can save money, have money, live stress-free. This is me teaching you how to get that D in your life, to change your life, to make you feel better. And people who came on the back end said, I knew I should have called him. But that it wasn't about that. It was about the 5 Ds we talked about. All right, so I'll take a couple more questions, man, before we get out of here. If it's tax related, business related, or if it's, how do I get in touch with the credit? We talked about credit, getting your credit together. I challenge y'all to start in March to working on getting your credit. Tier 1. And the thing about it is too, is that the connection and the collaboration that we've made, we ain't even asking you to pay nothing to get your credit analyzed or have a conversation. It's a free consultation. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of that, because it's a beautiful thing to have good credit. And then talk about the finance and the thing we put into place. Because see, the beautiful thing about that good credit is it can allow you to start having those additional streams. And when you start having those additional streams and you have 2 people working, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, man. So, make sure that y'all stay connected. Make sure that y'all follow us. Make sure that y'all come out to the event. Like I said, you go to the RB Solution Center website. You'll see that we have the events coming up this weekend. Register, come out, fellowship, meet and greet. If you have something and you're looking for a space to do an event, then let us know. Let us know. So y'all have a great day. I don't know what happened with IG, but IG kicked me off.
Sure.
All right, people. So y'all have a great night, man. Be safe. Make the best of it. Get you one of those Ds in your life, and I guarantee you can't lose. So peace. She was over there thinking about that, getting one of them D's, and she started crying.